of my deeds, I am now known in American history as the father of Texas. Hello, my name is Stephen Fuller Austin. I was born November 3rd, 1793, in a small mining town of what is now known as Austinville, Virginia, 256 miles southwest of Richmond, Virginia. I was raised by my father, Moses Austin, and Mary Brown Austin. I was a single child with no siblings. Um, at age 4, I was forced to move. I was forced to move on June 8th, 1798, to the leading mining town in Missouri. After a few years in that mining town, my father made enough money for me to be educated. He first sent me to the Bacon Academy, where I then moved on to the Transylvania University. I why was I, why did I go to such a weird act? Anyway, in 1819, I was left penniless after the Panic of 1819. After making some money, I moved to New Orleans, Louisiana, where I studied to become a lawyer at age 21. However, my father quit his mining business and started to lead the colonization of Texas. He didn't get very far, as he only got as far as the grant um, for 200 plus families to go and start the colony, because he died due to pneumonia. Um, I decided to take his grant and follow in his footsteps and start the colony. I traveled to San Antonio, Texas, to um, to find a good spot for the colony to start it out. However, I learned on the way back to San Antonio to reauthorize the uh, claim for the land. I learned that Mexico had declared its independence from Spain, making the job of starting the colony that much harder. The reason it made it harder was because the grant was authorized by Spain, and Mexico and Spain did not like each other at all. And Mexico was very reluctant of letting some 200 plus families into their newly acquired land. However, after much talk, they allowed it, and I was able to finally start the colony. The colony at first started out great. Families started pouring in because the United States was going through a very terrible depression at the time. And many families needed places to live. Um, after After many families came in, I decided to get another grant from Mexico, allowing another 100 plus people into the colony. The first 300 families that moved into the colony were then known as the Old 300 of Texas, for they were the first. After getting more grants, allowing more and more people in, the colonists grew concerned over safety issues. So I started an unofficial armed forces to protect the colonists from any dangers. The armed forces are still here today in Texas, now known as the infamous and very tough Texas Rangers. However, the Mexican government and the colonists did not like each other. I was forced to keep the peace towards the two, but but I did not like the Mexican government any more than the colonists did. I was forced to leave due to external conflicts that had nothing to do with the Mexican government or the colonies. And during that time, the colonists in Mexico had many had many problems during each other, and they grew much anger towards each other. When I came back, I was forced to lead the army, the Texan forces, against Mexico on October the 2nd, in battle that in a war that lasted through to December 11th, 1835. At the end of December, the war ended with with a surprising victory after a string of defeats, and the following capture of Santa Ana the next morning. After that, on March 2nd, the Texan Republic was formed and declared its independence from Mexico. After it was formed, there was an election that needed to take place. Because an election needed to take place because at the time Texas was its own country entirely and had nothing to do with the United States. There were three candidates: Houston, Smith, these are their last names, and myself. After the voting, the votes were in, and everybody in Texas read the news to find out who won. I came out with 587 votes. Sam Houston came out with 5,119 votes, and Henry Smith had 743 votes. Houston was then elected as president of Texas. He did appoint me as the first Secretary of State during the time, but I only was able to serve for 2 months. The reason was my death that occurred during noon December 2nd, 1836, due to pneumonia, as my father. After the fact, Sam Houston, the president, decided to name the capital of Texas, Austin, in my honor, as well as naming another city, Houston, in his own honor. Many years following, many buildings, including schools and universities, named themselves after me in my honor. Because of what I have done, I am now known in American history as the father of Texas, and I am the one who created Texas to be what it is today.